Good evening and welcome to our live crafting this evening. Thank you so much for joining me. My name's Jenny McCormack and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire in the Midlands in the UK. Thank you. If you're joining us live, do say hi and let me know that you're here. It's always really nice to know who's joining us. If you're watching on replay or catch up, and that may be on Facebook or on my YouTube channel, if you have any queries or comments, do pop them in the comment section. You're welcome to say hi or hashtag replay and let me know that you caught it on replay. But welcome either way, depending on your chosen platform. This week we have been using a single stamp called Watercolour World, and as you can see it's a large map of the world and it measures just under 6 inches by 4 inches, so it's basically almost the full size of the front of a standard card. Hi Diane, thanks for joining us this evening. I hope you've had a good week and I hope we'll see you tomorrow. We started off with just a single colour stamping, which is this card here. Then I went on to add some different colours using sponge daubers, so picking up the ink and applying it directly to the stamp, and that's what we created with this one here. Then so those were on Monday. On Tuesday we did some heat embossing, so I showed you how to colour these in. I have used 2 colours. And then we applied some clear embossing powder and heat set to get this lovely glossy effect on the card. And then yesterday I showed you how to use the, oh sorry, I've just got a kitten about to walk across the keyboard. Sorry, he's going to go. He's going to say hi. There he is. Very fluffy kitten. But he's going to be disappearing. There you go, squirrel. Because if he walks across the keyboard, he'll probably stop the recording. So apologies for that. So this one here, I showed you how to use the offcuts from the stamp to create a design, and for this one we did a camouflage type design, but we decided this would make, you could make quite a good set of paw prints with this. Probably the wrong way around, but there we go. So you could do some fun paw prints and stamp those. And we made a camouflage design. I finished it off after the session. I went back to the white card but used my blending brush and some blue ink just to turn that blue, because I decided that stamping on the Sahara sand was it just wasn't bright enough and it didn't stand out enough, so I did finish that off at the end of the session. And then for today I've got something that I've called the split strip technique. So this was my a practice card because I wanted to stamp it, cut out the pieces and then relayer it, which is how I came up with this design, which I do quite like. But I've thought of another way of doing it, which I'm going to try, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter, we can revert to just doing a single colour version of this. Okay, so I'm going to use my stamp. I'm going to use the Stamparatus, which is our stamp positioning tool, and this allows us to stamp and repeat over and over again in the same position. So I've got two pieces of card that are the same size. They're about the size of a card front, because I'm going to stamp them. Oh, they're slightly narrower. Going to stamp them and then cut them down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp them in two colours, then I'm going to cut them up, and then I'm going to replace them alternate colours. That is the theory. Just saying. So let's pop this on here, and it should just about fit. And the important thing is that you stamp this in the same place on both pieces of card. So I popped it on my mat here, and just going to press that down. And I've got two colours, both from our Bright, no, this is from our Brights range. So this is Bermuda Bay, and then I've got Old Olive from our Regals range, and I need, that's what I need, my little pressure tool. So I'm going to stamp Bermuda Bay first. Let's move these cards out of the way. So this is what I'm going to recreate, hopefully, but with two colours instead of one. This is the theory. Of course, who knows what will happen in practice. So this is Bermuda Bay I'm going to do first. So just inking this up. I suspect I need to re-ink this one, but we'll give it a go and see. Oops. Shaking everything on my desk. Let's see how that looks. Okay, not too bad at all. I've got a little split on my ink pad there. Now that's just caused this mark down here, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to get rid of that. So I'm just re-inking this because I want a nice deep image. So I hope everybody is well. It's Thursday evening. It is, I believe, the 16th of March. Yes, it is. And for us here in the UK, it's Mother's Day on Sunday. Just got a little gap up here that I can see. So I'm just going to add a little bit more pressure there. Okay. Alright, I'm happy with that one. So I'm going to take that one off and then clean my stamp and then put the other one on. Just to remember where I put it now. I think it was there. Right, just clean my stamp off. There we go. Alright, so that was my Bermuda Bay. And then I've got Old Olive, and I just want to make sure that, yeah, I did put that back in the same place, and I was using the grid lines to make sure that it was back, but you could have put a bit of washi tape or a little mark to indicate where your paper was in the first instance. Okay. So I can't believe where the week has gone this week. So I've had 3 lots of coffee and card already. I did Monday, Tuesday, and this morning was in Bicester, covering for the lovely Sam, who is away. And then we've got coffee and card, of course, tomorrow in Brackley in the afternoon with our new selected stamp set. And I think it will be this one. Two-tone floral. We've done a few cutesy ones recently, so I thought we would just do some florals again. And this is a particularly nice set, and it's got six main images, of which there is two-tone stamping. So where you stamp a lighter and a darker. So hopefully that will keep everybody busy. Okay, let's re-ink this up. And then information has gone out for my class in person and class in a box. And booking for that closes tomorrow. So if anybody wishes to join us, you need to have booked and paid by tomorrow. Okay, so there's my other one. Just clean this off, like so. Okay, so now I've got these two images here, and all being well, they should be in the same place on both cards. And what I'm going to do is do what I've done here. I'm going to chop this up evenly, and then I'm going to swap the pieces out. So let's give it a go. Right. Okay, so and I'm going to cut these together. So this is our thin white basic card, and the trimmer will cut those no trouble, 2 at a time. And I'm going to cut them in, I think I did 1.5 centimetre pieces here. I did indeed. Okay, but what I want to do is trim this down, I think, to start with. So really I want multiples of 1.5 centimetres, don't I? So I've got 1, 2, so that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 13.5. 3, 6, 9, 12, yeah. So I want to end up with it 13.5 wide before I start, and then I'll know that I've got even spacing. Because what I don't want to do is start at one end and then find you've got an odd piece at the end, if that makes sense. So the glasses are coming off, and just going to take a little bit off here, like so. And then I'm going to turn it round, and there is a really useful lip here, so you can push it up against that and know that this is level. And I want this to measure 13.5. Hardly any coming off there. Okay, and then the height that I want it, so the normal height for this is 10, so I want the height about 9.5. So I've got a little bit more I can play with here. Now this is the first time I've tried this technique, so we're in this together, folks. So 9.5, and that's because I want a little border all the way around. Okay, so this should be, yep, smaller than that, and 13.5, and obviously I'm going to have gaps a few millimeters in between each one, but I think this will work. So I'm going to cut this 1.5 centimeters at a time. So 1.5. And I'm just making sure that I'm pushing it up to the top. One and a half. You could do 1.4 if you wanted a bigger gap overall, but I'm hoping I'll get away with this. Okay, like a jigsaw puzzle. Whatever you do, don't knock it now. Okay. 1 and a half. There we go. And then this last one, I should be able to, it should be 1 and a half on either side. Oh, it's not quite. This is a little bit bigger, isn't it? So I'm just going to trim off the outside edge of this. I don't quite know what I did there. Either I've cut one wrong or I measured it inaccurately. Okay, so those are my panels, and what I'm going to do is split them like so. Now I have no idea if this is going to work or whether it's even going to look anything, but I just thought it'd be a little bit of fun. So that one, that, so I'm just alternating them, as you can see, but the key thing is they've got to start out with the image in the same place. So what I'm going to do is position that and put these together. So you could, and maybe I'll do one like this, is piece them back flat together so there's no gap, like so. And then on the other one I'm going to put a little gap in between. The other thing you can do is you can sort of move these in different places. So what you can do is stamp one and then move your card down by, say, 2 centimeters and stamp it again, and then shuffle them so that you put them back but that these pieces are uneven, if that makes any sense. Okay. Right. Let's move those out of the way before I knock them. Okay. And I have in mind that I want to mount these onto a piece of Bermuda Bay. So I'm just going to put these on just to see what my spacing is like. Like so. Ooh, it's going to be a little bit close, isn't it? So what I might need to do is cut another piece of Bermuda Bay slightly wider. Let me see. Yeah, it's just a little bit close. So I'm going to cut a piece that's the same width as the card and do it that way. wondering, yes, just that little bit longer. Okay, so all I'm going to do is apply these one strip at a time with a little bit of glue, and I'm going to use wet glue so I've got a little bit of movement. Just grab a scrap here, taking my glasses off so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to put a scribble of glue onto here. And moving it up almost but not quite at the edge, and then swapping this over. So you can decide whether you like the split panel with two colours or just a single colour. So I'm just allowing literally a millimetre in between. I'm just doing it by eye. I'm not measuring it or anything. You know me. Life's slightly too short to do that. So I can't see any comments. So it may be, it's because I haven't got my phone here. It may be that there aren't any, or it may be that Facebook hasn't picked them up and forwarded them on to me. There we go. Looks a bit like a blind, doesn't it? Okay. There we go. So that's the end of east end of South America. And you could use all sorts of colours for this. So again, just sliding this up. And if you wanted to, you could be very accurate. You could measure this distance, divide it by the number of panels, plus a gap, and then work out what size your panels need to be if you want to be really, really accurate. But for me, close is good enough. There you go. So the colours I've chosen are Bermuda Bay and Old Olive, but you could use any colours that you have to hand. I'm sure it's like the backdrop to a news programme or something. Maybe it was an old one that looked like this. Okay, and I know I've got plenty of space because I haven't cut that Bermuda Bay piece down. There we go. There we are. What do you think? I wonder if we like it. Let's see if there's any updated messages. Apologies if you've commented and I haven't spotted that you have. Right, so I've got that one there, and I've got the other ones here on my trimmer. So I'm going to do, I'm not going to repeat all of that, I'm just going to slide these off. You could move them all around, couldn't you, if you wanted to. So I've got a little gap on the left hand side, just going to do the same on the right, and with any luck that will work onto my panel. And I could leave that high top and bottom, but I think I'm just going to trim it all down effectively to be about 2.5 millimeters. There we go. Okay, so I have a base card here. So I've got white, but I could pick out Old Olive if I wanted to. There we go. That's going to go onto there. And then I'm just going to add a sentiment. So I've called this a split strip because we cut them into strips and then we've split them between two cards. I'm sure it's not original, I'm sure it's been done before, but that's my name for it. So I know what I'm talking about another time. So there we go. Two lots of colours. You could do 3, of course. There's nothing to stop you. You could even do a rainbow of colours if you had the time and the inclination. And then all I need to add to that is a little sentiment. Let's just see what I've got. I could think of something. Be nice to have something in keeping with retirement or travel, wouldn't it? Let me just see what I've got to hand. So I really want something going across, but this would work. Here's to beautiful beginnings and happy ever afters. It's a nice thin happy birthday, that would work. But I think I'm going to stick with this one, hoping this year is full of adventure and excitement, and that could be, as I said previously, that would work for birthday or retirement or anything like that. So I did have those little die cuts which I packed away. Put one here. And a block. And Bermuda Bay. And this is where I need my little template I had yesterday, which I seem to have misplaced. Okay. So I'm going to hopefully get this fairly straight on here. There we go. Not too bad. So that's like that. I think what I'll do is put a piece of Old Olive maybe behind it as a contrast. A little panel here. So let's just going to mark this. Roughly, cut it. Nothing too technical. And that one. There we go. I can just turn that over so I don't even need to rub out my marks. And I'm going to mount those together and pop this on, and we're all done. So you'll have to let me know which of all of the designs for the watercolour world you prefer. So I'll photograph them and then number them, and let me know which you like the best. There we go. Quite sure where I'm going to put that. I keep covering up South America, don't I? Maybe I could put it across here, like that. There. There we go. So perfect timing, just after 7:30. Let's have it there so it's in even strips like that. There we go, and I think I'm going to add a little bit of bling to this one, just for a change. So I've got my take your pick tool, and one, two, and 3. I want that to be a different height to that one. So let's put this down here. There we go. So there's our finished card. So I've got another set of those panels there that I can make into another card. So I hope you like it, something a little bit different. Thank you, Diane. I really appreciate your comments, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. So do let me know whether you prefer the single colour or the multicolour, or whether you prefer any of the others that I've shown this week. So I will pop them all down, I'll number them, and do vote and let me know your favourite. So thank you for joining me. As I say, booking closes tomorrow for our class in a box and card class, and then we're back to a level of normality for next week. So I look forward to crafting with you at Coffee and Card tomorrow afternoon in Brackley, and I'll be back here live on Monday at 10 AM for our new stamp set of the week. So thank you so much, take care, have a great evening. Oh yes, you can, Diane, of course you can book. I will pop you down and I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Great, thank you so much everyone, do take care, bye for now.